What if I told you the world is far stranger and far darker than you've ever imagined? These aren't just stories. They're real, they're documented, and they'll make you question everything you think you know about reality. From alien encounters to haunted hotels, possessed dolls to unsolved mysteries. Tonight, we're diving into terrifying true stories that will linger in your mind long after the screen goes dark. Buckle up, because once you hear these, you'll never look at the world the same way again. First up, the Enfield Monster. In 1973, in Enfield, Illinois, a man named Henry McDaniel opened his front door and came face to face with a creature straight out of a nightmare. He said it had 3 legs, short, stubby arms, and glowing red eyes like flashlights. When police investigated, they found deep scratches on the door and bizarre footprints with 6 toes. Henry's chilling warning was this: if they find it, they'll find more than one, and they won't be from this planet. What did he see that night? Next, we travel to Colombia, to the Hotel del Salto, perched on a cliffside. It's so tragically beautiful that some guests check in and never check out. Locals call it the Hotel of the Leap. Legend says the spirits of the ancient Muisca tribe, who leaped from the falls to escape capture, still whispered to the broken-hearted, luring them over the edge. The hotel has been abandoned for decades, but the whispers remain. Would you dare spend the night alone? From a haunted hotel to a house of horrors. In 1912, in the small town of Villisca, Iowa, an entire family of 8 was brutally murdered in their sleep with an axe. The killer was never found. The house still stands today, and people claim it's one of the most haunted places in America. A century after the murders, a paranormal investigator spending the night was stabbed in the chest, right around the time the original killings began. He survived, but he would never speak about what he saw in that room. Sometimes, the horror isn't in a house, but in a child's toy. A family in Houston bought their daughter an Elsa doll from the movie Frozen. The doll would sing and talk, but then it started doing it when it was turned off. Freaked out, they threw it in the trash. A week later, it was back inside their house. They threw it away again, this time double bagging it and putting it at the bottom of the bin. Days later, they found it sitting in their backyard. Then, it started speaking in Spanish. Was it a bizarre glitch? Or something else? This next story is truly disturbing. Kennedy Ife, a young man in London, began telling his family that a demon was trying to possess him and kill him. Believing he was under supernatural attack, his family restrained him for 3 days. They prayed over him as he screamed that a python was eating him from the inside out. By the time they finally called for an ambulance, it was too late. Kennedy was dead. In a shocking verdict, the family was cleared of all charges. The question remains, did they save his soul or commit murder? Imagine buying your dream home, only to discover a dark secret hidden inside its walls. That's what happened to the Bredsuas family in Pennsylvania. A horrible smell led them to smash through the drywall. Inside, they found dozens of bags filled with rotting animal carcasses and strange spices. Experts told them it wasn't just trash. It was a form of folk magic, a hex ritual meant to summon dark entities. The family became sick from the mold and the rot, plagued by a stench that would never leave. Someone had been using their home for dark magic for decades. A respected teacher, a group of students, and a ritual on a beach. It sounds like a horror movie, but it happened in Florida. Danielle Hawkins took 7 of her students to a beach at dusk. She lit a fire and told them they needed to perform a ritual to let the evil spirits out. She urged them to cut their skin. She then used a broken bottle to slash one boy's neck and tried to cauterize the wound with a heated key. When that didn't work, she poured perfume on another student and set him on fire. One of the most famous and unsettling modern mysteries is the death of Elisa Lam. The 21-year-old student vanished from the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. The last time she was seen was in chilling elevator surveillance footage, where she appears to be hiding from someone or something, pressing all the buttons and making strange gestures. Weeks later, hotel guests complained that the water tasted foul. Maintenance workers checked the rooftop water tanks and made a gruesome discovery. Eliza's body was floating inside. The tank's heavy lid was closed, and the rooftop door was locked. How did she get in there? Our final story comes not from a storyteller, but from official government reports. In Indianapolis, police officers and a Child Protective Services case manager were called to a home to investigate claims of demonic possession. What they saw defied all explanation. According to their sworn testimony, they watched a 9-year-old boy walk backward up a wall and across the ceiling. They documented a 12-year-old girl speaking in a demonic voice, threatening them. This isn't just a story. It's backed by over 800 pages of official reports from multiple, credible witnesses. It's a case that has left law enforcement and medical professionals baffled to this day. Let's continue with Utah, where a seemingly normal family's story took a devastating turn. After a terrible tragedy, investigators found a handwritten to-do list. It started off mundanely enough, with notes like feed the pets and water the plants, but the final line, shrouded in mystery, hinted at something far more sinister. As they dug deeper, they discovered letters written by the mother. She was filled with anxiety about the future and had even been in contact with a controversial public figure. What could have pushed this family to such a desperate final act? Was it a deep-seated fear of what was to come? Or was there another, darker force at play? The to-do list remains a haunting reminder of a plan that ended in the worst way imaginable. Now, imagine this. You're home, feeling safe, and your phone rings. But this isn't just any call. This is what the Kuykendall family went through. They started receiving calls from an unknown number. The voice on the other end was terrifying and knew their names, what they were doing, and even what they were wearing. The caller taunted them, whispering threats and private details that no one outside the family could possibly know. They tried everything, turning off their phones, unplugging them, even taking out the batteries. But the call kept. It was as if the phantom caller was inside their house, watching their every move. Police were stumped. The calls were untraceable, a digital ghost haunting the family through their own devices. To this day, no one knows who was making those calls or how they did it. It's a terrifying thought. What if the call is coming from inside the phone itself? Next, picture a family finally buying their dream home in a quiet, picturesque suburb. It's everything they've ever wanted. But soon after moving in, their dream turns into a full-blown nightmare. They start receiving strange, anonymous letters. The writer, who called themselves the Watcher, claimed their family had been observing the house for generations. The letters were disturbingly specific, mentioning the house's history, its young blood, and even the names of the family's children. The tone grew more and more menacing with each letter, making it clear they were being watched constantly. The family became prisoners in their own home, too scared to let their kids play outside. Despite police investigations and private detectives, the identity of the Watcher remained a secret. The family, terrified for their lives, eventually sold the house and fled. The mystery of who was watching and why they were so obsessed with that particular house has never been solved. Finally, let's talk about a dark legacy that feels like a real-life boogeyman story. Imagine a man whose unsettling smile in an old mugshot sends shivers down your spine. This isn't just a picture. It's a window into a twisted mind. This individual wasn't just a criminal. He was a master manipulator who left a trail of chaos and psychological torment wherever he went. His story is filled with bizarre events, from strange obsessions documented in dusty old books, to a laugh that was said to echo long after he was gone. He created a legacy of fear that affected not just his victims, but everyone who came into contact with his story. People who have researched his life report, feeling an unshakable sense of dread, as if his dark influence can still be felt today. It's a chilling reminder that some people's evil doesn't die with them. It lingers, becoming a modern-day folktale that's all too real. These stories show us that sometimes the most terrifying things aren't supernatural monsters, but the unanswered questions and the darkness that can hide in plain sight. What do you think happened in these cases? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into the unknown, make sure to like and subscribe for more mysteries. Stay safe out there.